Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Now, I'm sure, like me, you see plenty of videos from YouTubers which are all about, check out my new insert product or brand here, partnership with, new watch, trainers, bike, car, whatever it is. And I'm a big fan of that and I commend those people for the hard work. But that isn't always the reality. Looking in from the outside of like the social media world, you think, oh, as soon as you build some sort of platform, the offers come rolling in. Now, maybe that is the case for some people, but it's not the case for me and it's not the case for many others. So this video is all about showing the other side of that. And it's essentially about the time that I pitched a company and didn't get anywhere, got told no. Now, I could probably talk for many hours about my experiences with like brand partners, most of which you haven't actually seen on this channel, but I'm guessing you don't have hours, so I'm just going to talk about this one specific situation. I've also got loads of thoughts and opinions about sponsorships in general in social media, but I've already criticised Harry Palmer a few times this week, so I'm probably going to give him a day off. Now, I was quite public about when I was going to approach this brand. I know it was a few months ago, but obviously I've only just got around to getting this video done. I shared with you what I was doing, but I didn't share all the details, so I'm going to go through that in today's video. I think it's important to do so. I said I was going to. Obviously, I'd much rather it have been a positive outcome, but I said I was going to share it, so here we go. It's all part of the journey or whatever the journey is. Now, I'm sure you realise that this is not a how-to video, so please don't take it in that way. However, on the flip side, if you have any advice, comments, criticisms or thoughts, please do drop them down in the comment section down below. I look forward to hearing your thoughts. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button because I might get a yes if I get 1 million subscribers. Thanks. Right, so the brand in question, I'm not going to share the name of. The reason it being, it's not their fault that they said no to me. Obviously, it is their decision, but I understand why. And they were very friendly, very receptive to me, even offered me a discount on their products as sort of like a, sorry, we can't partner with you or sponsor you or whatever. And I don't want any like negative press to come to them because of that. I'm really not feeling bad about it at all, salty about it, so I'm not going to share the brand name. That is the only reason why I'm not. I don't think there's any reason to normally hide those sorts of things, but I just don't think it's fair. But I will tell you that this brand is in the cycling world. It's a more premium brand than it is a budget brand. This brand doesn't sponsor many athletes. However, what drew me to the brand was that I saw lots of athletes using the products who weren't paid to do so. That gave me confidence in what the products actually were. I'd heard firsthand accounts of the customer service at this brand, as well as first-hand experience of using the product. So I felt like that was a good start. Obviously, I'd need to test things before I announced that I was sponsored by something, but early indications were good, and that's why I approached this specific brand. Now, this isn't something that I do very often, but I have done a couple of times, and based on the learnings I picked up from those experiences, as well as talking to people who do this quite successfully, I put together that there was a few things that are quite important at this sort of time. Firstly, I thought it was important to demonstrate the value that I would give to a brand rather than just reeling off a list of the things that I want from them. Secondly, stand out from the crowd. Brands must get asked for free stuff all the time. I needed it to feel different and to stand out. And thirdly, try and speak to the right person. Now, this is difficult with different sized businesses. Sometimes it's really good to speak to the business owner because they can make the decisions there and then. However, sometimes it's not always best to speak to the owner because somebody who, for example, might work in a marketing team with a budget, when they're spending money, it's not their own money, so they might spend it a little bit easier than somebody who owns a business and spends money because it is their money. Difficult to explain, but I hope you get the vibe from that. So I don't really know what the right way to do it is. It depends on the business, I suppose. So what I thought I would do is, with the help of Ollie from Ridgeway Media, and by help I mean Ollie like did all of this for me. I just sent him information and photos and tweaked it, but the vast majority of the work was done by him. We put together like an information pack, which I'm going to show to you now. Okay, so this brochure is a brochure because I actually got it printed out in hard copy in like a proper binder, good quality card, that sort of thing. So when I sent it to this brand, they actually got it in their hand. Now I'm going to show you what it is. So I think it was 5 or 6 pages in length. Now, when I'm trying to pitch myself to a company, I don't have race results. I have won 1/3 cat crit, I know that. But I'm not a professional athlete. I'm not talking about the things that I've done or the things that I'm going to do. Basically, all I have to offer is you guys. So without you watching these videos, none of this would even be possible. So thank you very much for watching these. But I'm essentially, an advertising platform. That's the only real value that a brand would get from me. Of course, I'd go to an event and maybe I'd place up there in my age group, but I'm never going to be winning events overall. So I try and not lie. I try and just be honest and upfront straight away that I'm an amateur triathlete. Now, the line with the professional reach, that was actually created by Ollie from Ridgeway Media, and I liked that because I don't think there's many amateur triathletes with a YouTube platform the size of this, and I know it's nothing compared to loads of other influencers or social media people, but I think it demonstrates some value to some brands. So you've got to talk in their language, you've got to tell them what you're going to do for them. So really on the front page, snapshot, 436,000 views in 2021. That is a fact, that is on YouTube. People who work for companies will know what that means. I don't know what that means, I don't know how many sales you get from that or anything, but companies might do. Opening the brochure. Then a bit of a summary about social platforms. Now, you might think that brands really care about who you are and what you do and a bit about you. In reality, they probably don't, or not early on. They just want to know, again, what you can do for them. So I'm trying here to provide a snapshot of, I'm looking at this on screen now, I'm looking away, trying to find a snapshot of more in detail what I'm going to do for you. So a bit more about social media platforms, views, engagements, those sorts of thing. It feels like dirty doing that. It feels like you're an internet person doing that, but this is what brands want to see and want to be able to use. Going on to the next page. I like Strava. I actually love Strava, and I think that it is turning into more of a social media platform than it is just a training outlet now, particularly now I can put videos on it. And I've worked hard over the last few years. You'll notice every video I put up on this channel, the run or the bike session, I'll always put my Strava screenshot on screen, and from that it generates quite a few Strava follows. So it might not seem like it, but I actually work really hard to try and grow the amount of followers I have on Strava. And I think that brands will like that as well, because it is more of an engaged platform. If somebody's following you and looking at the training session you're doing, they're probably a bit more engaged than they are just flicking through Instagram. So I got a few things from Strava. The other things I got, and thank you very much to anybody who has worked with me on this channel. I wrote out to everybody who I'd worked with on this channel and asked for a reference. It might seem a bit employer-like, but I wanted other business owners to say how working with this YouTube channel has benefited them. So thank you to Dan Smith from UK Bike Fit, Easy Disc, Matt from Woodnote Coaching, Lee from Full Steam, Nick from NRG Chains, George Fox Cycling Solutions, for all contributing to that. And I know it didn't come out the positive outcome this time, but you know what, another time it might do. And it really made me happy reading those things. People saying that it's benefited their business, that NRG says something like, you know, we feel like Daniel's given us much more than we've given him. And they're really kind words, and it really makes me happy that when I work with these people, sometimes I feel like I'm taking more than I'm giving, and thanks to you guys supporting these companies when I do videos or do giveaways or share discount codes, it makes it viable for them, and it's really cool to see their businesses developing. That's sort of what I'm trying to get across in this page is, you know, this is what I've done for these people, so therefore I can do that for you. And then the last page was it said then what the product was at the top. I've probably blanked that out. If you haven't blanked that out, Daniel, blank it out. And then there's a QR code on there as well, which went to a short video, and I mean it was about 30 seconds long. It just said, thank you very much for watching this. I'm sure you're really busy. Can we talk? My number's below, that sort of thing. And that was it. Now, I mentioned earlier about standing out from the crowd. I didn't just want to email this document to them. I'm assuming that brands get loads of things emailed to them. I'm just getting a dead leg. Emailed to them all the time. So I actually got hold of the address for the business where people would actually be at work and posted it to them in a box with loads of things like biscuits, coffee, cakes, sweets, just things that people might open the box and go, oh, that's nice. And what I was really trying to do was not just make it a delivery that goes to that one person, but they're not going to eat a whole box of biscuits themselves, so they'd probably put them in a meeting room somewhere and say, oh, this is from, and then you might get your name mentioned around a little bit more. So that was the thought process behind that, and that was essentially it. Now, shortly after that, the brand got in touch with me and just said that unfortunately they weren't looking to partner with anybody else for the foreseeable future, and explain reasons why, and perhaps and give me some additional information which helped me understand why they might be hesitant to work with more people, and that people who I'd perhaps thought were sponsored weren't actually sponsored and were paying for their products. And that really helps me understand, wow, how competitive it is, especially in the bike world, to get any sort of sponsorships from either bike manufacturers or wheel manufacturers or cockpit manufacturers or anything like that, because the industry itself is, nobody can get hold of anything. People are selling everything they've got. Like, it's going to be really hard to actually get money or goods out of a brand, that sort of thing. So Yeah. I hope this has come across in the right way, and that I'm not being salty at all. I'm just sort of showing you that it doesn't always work. You don't always get what you want first time. But from this, I'm going to take some learnings from this. Some of this stuff I think was good. Some of it I might look back and think, oh, I could do that a bit better next time. And I'll learn from it. And I might go back to the same company in 6 months or a year or so. And I'll say, do you remember when I did this for you? Well, now I can do it more for you. Maybe I have started winning races all of a sudden. Who knows? But if not, I'll take this and I'll adapt it. And I'll perhaps speak to another brand in the future. It's not something I do all the time, but if I do want to work with somebody, I think you should make the effort to make yourself a little bit different to the norm. So yeah, welcome any thoughts that I said earlier. Thank you very much in advance for that, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it or got something from this video. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for some proper triathlon training.